Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Contact Buzz.
Woo, episode 31.
Woo, can you believe that?
Damn.
Shit.
Holy ball sacks.
Where does the time go? I can tell you where it goes. It goes into healing yourself if you're like us. And sometimes that requires you to hermit away for a little bit, and then time seems to slip away from you. And then you get comfortable and you don't want to leave the confines of your own home. And then you have to...
You get lost in your own shit.
You have to be like a baby bird and fly out of the nest, man, because you can only stay there so long before it's too long, and then you get complacent and you cannot grow out of complacency, so you got to move continuously. Remember that, and you always want to keep your energy replenished. So if you don't replenish, there's a fine line there. You want to hermit away and replenish, but at the same time, you got to know when it's right to not, or to get up out that shit,
Yeah, exactly. You got to know if you're just reserving your energy or conserve,
okay.
Conserve, whatever.
Right.
Pulling your energy back, or are you at that point just isolating yourself? And there's a difference, and you know the difference when you let your ego go down and you finally admit to yourself, okay, all right, I'm doing this because I'm protecting my energy way too much because there's a balance of everything.
Let me tell you, that is a thing, way too much, because in my romantic endeavors, I'm way too protective of my energy, and that's because I'm still healing parts of myself that I don't want to pass along to another person.
And that goes back also to...
And that just, the purity of a relationship should be 100% pure and always have these feelings of love and joy with your partner.
Right.
And who wants to carry over something that is not all love and joy and poison another person in the process?
No. See, that's the problem with just society in itself. We've been taught what love is versus what love truly is. And love is truly healing yourself so you can meet someone. And I say meet someone because you don't want to be with someone who is dragging you down or doesn't meet your energy at all, and we can try to make that work because, you may feel a connection with them, and that connection may be so very strong, but you also realize as a healer that you attract very, very, very much so a lot of people who need your light, and they don't know at the time, and you don't know until you know that you have this connection. And especially when in relationships, you have a connection with the other sex, it's like, wow,
it gets confusing because
you
love with all your heart, but they are broken and they don't know how to do that. So you're giving your all here, and they're not giving anything. They're not meeting you at your energy that you need to be met at.
Right.
Because let's face it, when you put in the hard work and you start evolving as a person, it gets lonely because there's not very many people who choose to, unfortunately, step up and heal themselves. So people are good at putting on a mask for a minute. They can fool you, they can talk the talk, but when it comes down to it, they can't walk the walk. It
always falls. That mask always falls.
It does. It always falls, and that's why I've been kind of nervous to put myself back out there, is I have a bullshit radar like none other these days. When you work on yourself and you heal yourself, you learn to read energy really well, and you can basically read a person from the moment that you meet them. And I trust my instinct. I've never trusted myself more than I do now in my life, So I'm guilty of being too stingy with my energy when it comes to that. And I've shut myself off completely. Now it's the time to open back up.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing that a lot in the tarot. And there's some, you guys know if you're into tarot, there's some cards that continue to fall and follow you that you hate. You hate seeing these cards fall because you're like, damn, this is the worst card in the tarot deck. I don't want this shit. Take it back. But the Three of Swords has been one of mine, and that is like heartbreaking, backstabbing, betrayal, healing all the stuff that's happened to me along the years, Yeah. And I'm almost there, and I fully expect soon to not see that card ever fall again.
Yeah.
But there's other cards that follow too. But you can really start to work on yourself and you have to pick yourself apart to know where your energy stands versus what all the energy that you had filled around you of everybody else's shit all day, every day. What we got to think about is our life is this big energy force. And there is a force field of energy that is our protection. But then there is also this energy that's drawn to that like a moth. And then there's the energy that we interjectedly was born into this world to familial obligations and things like that totally strip us of any of our own personal energy because we're always worried about somebody else and how they're going to feel, what they're going to say, how they're going to react. Oh, I can't do this because of this. Oh my God. You know,
that's why we hold ourselves back.
Everybody else the power and you none. And so that's why I'm passionate about that, guys, because and that's what I mean when I say energy field. I know I say it a lot and people probably look at me like I've got 3 heads, but that's what it is. You got to think of things in terms of energy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. We've been talking lately, because last time we come on, we done a drunken tarot, and man, that week at the House of Athena was amazing and healing, and it was hard. It was hard. It was a hard week, but also one of the biggest. It's where I rose from my ashes for me personally because of what I had to do and on my path at this point, and that is let go of someone that I loved very much so, and I still have a lot of love for, but it's meeting energy, and you can't feel guilty for leaving people behind. That is up to them. It's not up to you. And I have spent my whole life with people dragging me down into their own hell, and I refuse to do that anymore. And then this was the final lesson for me, and it was being able to trust me. It's hard, for me. I'm a loving, pure person, and when I love someone, I worry about them, and I want to check on them, and I want to coddle them, and I want to love them and nurture them, and that's hard. You have to learn when to stop being the nurturer. You have to learn when to stop being the healer to someone, because at that point it's just draining your energy. So that was a big lesson for me in my marriage that I stayed in for 21 years, and let my mother's generational trauma affect me because it was my trauma, and people outside telling me to stay for the kids, and I worried about how I was going to make it. Guys, you don't know, man. I've been through a lot of fucking shit. And my energy, I've had to learn my own energy and realize that from the time that I was little, I've just been this very deep, deep person who felt everything. And I just learned that you can't tell people, hey, I see this, you're struggling with this. This is the reason you're struggling with it. And, in a very loving way. You can't do that to people because they're not ready to face it, and it becomes anger. So you vibrate out of that vibration level. That's what me and Dallas was talking about earlier, is like you have to vibrate out of that level. You can't be mad at it. You can't be sad at it. You got to let it go, because if you keep your emotions attached to that person or that situation, it is lower, and it's going to keep you in the lower. So let go of it. And the biggest thing that we can do, and the strongest and fucking bravest and amazing thing that we can do, is let someone go. For our own self, for ourself, for our self-worth, for our self peace, and for our energy.
Absolutely.
So a lot of shit's been going on, and then also we decided what.
Oh, guess what? We started planning this at the beginning of the year. But then we've decided, through all the events that's happened, this has been a rough year for us both, and we have been doing a lot of healing and a lot of taking care of ourselves. Exactly. So we, on this, and this is a path, this shamanic path.
There's
Mercury.
A speech impediment problem going on right now.
The shamanic path is not something you choose to do, and it's something I never would have imagined myself doing. Until it finds you. It finds you through your experiences that you have in life. It ushers you to it. You don't choose it. So part of that shamanic path entails a vision quest.
I love it.
A vision quest. So we have decided to go tits to the wind and jump in the car in a couple weeks and head out west. We're gonna have the time of our life. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna do readings along the way. We're gonna stop in different places. We're hustling. This is our tour across the country that we talked about at the first of the year, and we're gonna make it happen, and it's gonna be beautiful. So we've got a lot. We're really in depth in the planning process. We've got currently sitting in front of me the atlas. And just every time we feel inspired to pick it up and look at it, we see what we're called to. So this is a shamanic journey that is very important and very sacred to us both, that I feel like is going to hold a lot. There's been a lot of synchronicities, a lot of things in meditation where we've been called to certain places. And this is no accident, guys. This is written in the stars, and this is a calling. And what do we know about calling is if you don't answer it, it's going to keep coming around, then it's going to bite you in the ass and make you answer it when it's time. So if Spirit says jump, lately I've been saying hell high. I've been trying my best to put aside all my unhealed shit and heal the shit that not put aside my unhealed shit. I will never take this away from me. I have been healing that unhealed shit. So I can be ready for the next stages of my life. And this is us stepping into our maturity. This is us stepping into our elderhood, you know. And it's a very important thing to be able to just hit the road with tent and very few items and make it work.
And very little money.
Very little money, which is why we ask if anybody feels compelled to donate. And there's ways on Facebook to do that.
Either way, we're going, and we know Spirit has us.
Right,
so.
Exactly. So we're not worried. We're not concerned. We're going to, September 5th, when that rolls around, we're going to go out to the rental car place. We're going to pick up the car. We're going to come back here to the house, and we're going to load up all the shit that we've already had packed and ready to roll. And then we're hitting the road for probably over a month, guys. And we are going to stop at all these places along the way, and we're going to hustle, and we're going to work, and we're going to... The most important thing is we're going to heal, and we're going to understand our connection a little better to our soul. And how do we do that? By visiting these sites, these previous sites that ancient civilizations have been to that had really called to us both. And I think I've talked about my Belizean experience with the Mayan ruins, and I want you to be able to experience that. And we get to experience that in several locations here across the country. And in the desert, I mean, you can't go on a vision quest and not go to the Joshua tree in the desert. I'm going to find some peyote, and I'm going to sit there in the desert, and I'm going to have a good vision quest.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
You know?
We need to do that. If y'all listen, you out there, you know how to get us some peyote. You hit a bitch up.
Right.
Plant medicine, baby, all the way.
But yeah, so that's only like not even halfway into our trip.
I know.
So we're planning on coming back through Oklahoma, down Arkansas to Louisiana, where we'll be in New Orleans, and then we're going to go across that bottom half from Biloxi, Mississippi to Mobile on to Jacksonville, and then we're going to shoot up 95 all the way to Richmond at the cabin on 360 September 30th. Is where we're going to end our journey. That's going to be the last leg of our journey, and then from there 7 hours back home, and then it's on to the next journey. So who knows where that'll take us? But yeah, so that's what we've decided to give in with reckless abandon and do what we've been called to do. And I'm telling you, once you do that, things move, things happen. And once you trust implicitly in Spirit to do something that other people might think you're crazy for, because we've already had people say we're crazy, what are you thinking, I'd not do that. Well, guess what? We are strong-willed. We are ready for this. Everything that we've been working for has led us up to this point. We've learned fires. We've learned how to make fires without lighters. We've learned how to make fires and sustain those fires, you know. And we've put a lot of time and effort into doing these things. So we are unknowingly, but knowingly, because everybody needs these survival skills.
We were taught that at a young age.
And we get to... This is a test of will for us, and it is a test of faithfulness to the cause, and it is going to be beautiful. And I hope that you guys can be a part of that, and I hope that y'all watch and you feel inspired, because that's exactly what we want you to know that you can do. You can do anything that you put your mind to in this life, guys.
Yes.
And if you don't do that, and if you have a calling in your soul and you don't do that, you're not doing yourself any favors. You're just going to sit and pine away the hours and be miserable your whole life if you don't move.
Exactly.
You got to be brave enough to make that first move.
Can't never got you anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But, we are quarantined somewhat. COVID has hit the commune.
It has. COVID.
Not commune, the compound. Sorry. Let me get
Commune, compound.
Whatever.
More compound, yeah.
More compound than commune.
Right. Anyway, we live in close quarters with other people around here. Appalachian way of life. Mm-hmm. And when one person gets sick, 9 times out of 10, everybody gets sick.
Is, yeah.
And we've been through this, and it didn't go so well one time. So everybody gets edgy when people get sick, and
a lot of people died.
A lot of people, like 5 people, like my dad, my papa, my granny, my 2 uncles, all in the same family, all in a 6-month span, basically 6 month to a year span. Most of those died on like in a 2-week span. So everybody gets nervous and on edge, and everybody's there's a lot of generational trauma here. Let's call it like it is. And I am one of those curse breakers.
Funny.
I am a strong-willed, hard-headed mother effer.
You're a strong-ass woman.
Yes, I'm an independent woman.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna need no man to do anything.
Exactly.
But anyway, so yeah, there you go. The insights of 2 holler hippies from the Appalachians here.
Yeah. Oh, we had to totally cancel our retreat, if you're wondering about that, by the way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Spirit, man, we were stubborn. We really pushed for at least one this year.
Because that's our baby. You guys know how we feel about that.
And, in our minds, we think, oh, well, we're abandoning we're abandoning this, or, we want it to still be relevant, because part of our whole cause is it's all together, the retreats, the everything, we want that stationary in one place in a community that's self-sustaining and a healing center. That's coming.
Yeah.
And this we're in the early stages of that, because this is spirit right here moving us.
Yeah.
Spirit is absolutely heading the charge, and every time you answer the call and you choose not to be afraid of it, it brings you to another door. And then you go through that door, and then it leads you to another one, and then you start figuring out the secret of life is getting out of your own fucking way and opening the damn door.
Yeah, and guess what we realized? We have been sent to other communities so we can have an idea of what we want out of a community, but also the experience gained from helping out and pitching in these communities.
And learning from them.
And learning everything we can from them, and then we go and we visit other communities where we can bring what our strengths are, and they can help with our strengths.
Exactly.
We want an interconnected web of beautiful spiritual communities across the country, guys.
Healing, safe places.
And that's what's going to change the world.
It is.
And if you listen to your calling, it sends you to places like this. Now you've got to figure out how to put the puzzle pieces together with what to do there, But if you have started healing yourself and you're advancing along this path, that becomes innate. And you just know within inside you, and you don't ever question yourself, and that little voice inside you that says move is your intuition. And if you don't move, then it'll bite you in the ass, I guarantee it. No matter how hard it is, no matter how much you don't want to do it, it's going to happen regardless. And sometimes things move out of the way in a way that you don't want them to. So it's best to pay attention to everything that you're sent and every place that you're called to go, because none of this is accident, guys. Mm-hmm. And when you really give in and you start to do this thing and you answer that calling and that shamanic path finds you, you see things in a world so much different. Mm-hmm. And death is something that I see very much differently, and you see is because we've been through some shit in our lives, in our previous lives, in this life, but you get a bigger understanding of it as you go along, because of that's not the end of their journeys.
Yeah.
And you get to keep all the very best of
honor
them
their
with
essence,
you and honor their essence. But so that helps I mean, this path, I mean, it don't, like I said, you don't choose it, it finds you.
It does.
And without this path, I would be so lost. So I'm so grateful for everything and for Holly and
Same.
all that. You know, if it hadn't been for Holly and us being able to work together this whole time and it process and heal and deal our feelings, you know, we'd be in two completely different places right now, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That path finds you. You don't find it.
Yeah. It is. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful path. If you guys, also we are doing daily lives. We are doing psychic readings. You don't have to donate anything. You can absolutely share our stuff. You know, anything. We have a lot of things out there. We have the smudge sprays. My smudge sprays are about to be back up and running. Thank you, Spirit. We're doing these 3-card draws. You don't have to pay nothing, but donating $1, $2, $3 would be fantastic. Yeah. But again, you don't have to. It's all about the connection. We're trying to get our energy back out there, balance our energies within the with everybody else. Because I was just talking to Dallas about this earlier. Is what I've always struggled with is finding my balance, because I'll put myself out there, and I'll be feeling good in life, and I'll let my energy just fly. And a lot of people are so attracted to it that it easily pulls me down. And so I've always felt myself in this weird cycle that I'm on this 21-day thing too. Let me mention that. 21 days. So for about a month now, I've been saying I wanted to do 21 days because studies show that it takes 21 days to rewire your brain's thinking. Okay, so if you go 21 days and you say, I'm going to take that 21 days and I'm not going to drink a pop. Well, by the end of that, you'll be not wanting a pop because you just broke the habit. So with mine, personally, mine was self-love. And it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do. But then Spirit sent me all the signs. See, guys, I'm telling you, my life, when you can read the script of your own life, shit gets real.
It really does. Like, and it's major.
Yeah. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Shit balls. Shitty balls.
You know it happens.
Fuck.
Fuck me. I was involved in this here.
Damn.
I was like, preach, sis.
Hell, I forgot. This episode is brought to you by Herbal Care?
Keef. Durban Poison.
Durban Poison.
Durban Poison. Good. It's
good.
Listen, this shit'll make you work your ass off. Is
Yeah,
what it will do.
It's an upper. It's very nice.
And scrubbing things you never knew you needed to scrub.
All them things you sit there in your head and mentally exhaust yourself with, you actually get up and do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because you got the oomph to do it finally.
Exactly. I'm still trying to drag that back into my thought process.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I can't remember what I was talking about.
Fuck, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, you were talking about, taking your energy back.
Taking my energy back. Oh, and giving too much of my...
Yeah, giving too much.
Going through the 21 days of life.
Yeah, there you go.
Shit,
we reined it back.
We ain't seen out. We're just stoners. Yeah. So, wait, what? 21, I'm joking. 21
That's
days
great.
of self-love is what I chose. And there's different depths of self-love, because I do have a lot of self-love for myself, and I've worked hard for that over the years. But there's, again, depths of self-love, and mine is doing things daily, working through different things that are deeper level healing that I'm aware of, but trying to be more aware of so I can heal, because it is really deep stuff, and it's not dark stuff. It's just things that are like, I twiddled my hair. I've twiddled my hair since I was little, and there's pictures of me twiddling my hair when I was like 2 years old. So obviously I have anxiety, and Librans also are known to have mental anxiety, and I'm in my head a lot. And then you take someone who feels every fucking thing. Mm-hmm. It's no wonder. But anytime that I'm in certain situations, like if I'm thinking, I'll be twiddling my hair or whatever. I guess it's equivalent to sucking a thumb, or a tick or whatever.
Right.
Which I never thought I had before, or would consider myself ever to have anxiety, because the way that I seen anxiety in people was not
like the big leg shakes and all
yeah,
that,
the massive things on that spectrum, and it's just
the
because I was on the lower end
noises.
of the spectrum. Yeah, all mine was like inside of my head, and like mentally, I think a lot, but also that I hate the labels, but anxiety is the way that your body is reacting to situations that are not in your control.
Yeah,
that
so
is
true.
it. That is the
really
bottom
is.
fucking line. And so for me, in my own healing and journey, going through my relationship with my mother, it was because she was emotionally avoidant, because her mother was emotionally avoidant. So, I look back on that and I'm like, okay, I see it. Why do I still twiddle my hair? Because it is my comfort.
Mm-hmm.
It is my way of like thinking through things. It helps me ground myself.
Right.
But yeah, working through things like that, deeper things. Today it was doing this for 21 days, and but today it was giving too much of myself to people. And because when I let my light shine completely, people tend to flock to that energy. And like I was saying earlier, and they don't know it, but, they're draining me. And I have to learn my balance with that, so I don't get drugged down again and want to harm it away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what me and Dallas were just talking about earlier.
Yep.
So that was something I was working through with talking about today. And so 21 days. And you can do it too. You can rewire your thinking, or you can use that time for healing, whichever. And for me, I chose to dig deeper into the little scattered things, the little scattered things about myself that I never really paid mind to, because it didn't.
It wasn't like a big deal.
No, it wasn't something detrimental that was affecting my life.
Right.
And
you realize it doesn't have to be now.
No, yeah.
But it is part of what makes up those anxieties. Yeah, absolutely. So good, kudos to you. Me, I've been anxiety ridden for years, but I'm least anxious now than I ever have been. And that's such a freeing feeling and that's why you can cure most mental illnesses, man. Because you can rewrite your brain. Yeah. 21 days you can rewrite your brain, but it ain't just about that. It's about compassion and love and showing them people, instead of taking that pharmaceutical, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get in the deep and the dirty, and this is what you're going to face, and you're going to heal that shit. And then guess what? That heals your mental illness.
Yeah. And all them times that you fought with your ego, because I'm sorry, the ego is your enemy.
You're the biggest enemy.
When it comes to healing. Because you want to, anytime, let me tell you something. If someone tells you something about yourself and you feel something inside of you go, then you want to react, then you know. Then you know they have triggered you. That's the trigger reflex.
Yep,
Keep that in mind.
Yep.
And I've done it. When
we
somebody's done it, I have. I'm like,
oh, you don't bring that shit to me. You don't know.
But then I'm like,
but then you wouldn't react that way if it didn't.
Yeah, and then you catch yourself. That's how. That's actually the secret.
That's how you heal yourself,
guys.
That's
the secret.
It ain't an overnight magical fix. This thing is that Rome was not
catching yourself.
In a day.
Nobody can heal you. You heal you.
Yeah.
It's like, but people can teach you how to heal by. Yeah. And the way we do is teaching you dumb it down, man.
Yeah, dumb it down and give you that good old Southern tough love.
Exactly.
Because we'll say to you the things that nobody else will out of love. Not out of hate, not out of wanting to make you feel bad. And that's why our readings are special to us. And in those moments, we can use those as teaching moments, as healing moments. Yep. And there's always tears and emotions, and it's beautiful, guys. Yeah. And that's what we have the capability to do for each other as humans. Yep. And that's why we are all just walking each other home. So why not make it an enjoyable walk?
Yeah, let's all be stoned and be happy.
Be happy-go-lucky, guys.
Speaking of stoned,
we are getting ready to take off. I hope you all have a beautiful day.
Have a blessed day,
have
y'all.
A blessed one.
And if you guys would like to donate to our cause, you can find it on GoFundMe. Go to my Facebook, Holly Mullins, or Dallas Adams, Intuitive Healer Holly Mullins. We're out there. You guys know how to get us, and we love you, and thank you for supporting us. We appreciate you, to the people who have already put in so much to help us, and Spirit's got us all the way, and Spirit's got you.
Yeah, and don't you worry, boo-boo. We got this. And love you guys. And any love and support back is always appreciated.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
out.